blue sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
This is In the Know for Thursday, August 20, the 233rd day of 2020. There are 133 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose. 5.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast, on Facebook Watch, on YouTube Live, on Periscope, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. DNC last night, touched briefly on that. State Representative candidate Jacob Clark will stop by for a conversation, and we'll have today's winner and today's setup of Where's Quacky? That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
I'm going to tell you something that you already know, but I want you to play along for the benefit of the audience as if you had no idea this was the case, okay?
I do that a lot, okay.
A new study says that honey is better than antibiotics for treating coughs and colds. You're supposed to feign surprise like, well, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, really?
In a review and analysis of 14 studies, including experiences of nearly 1,800 participants, researchers found that honey was consistently more successful and quicker at improving symptoms, including cough, frequency, and severity than other treatments. So honey's good for you.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but that was always the case in both sides of my family. Here's a tablespoon of honey, and there you go.
It'll make you all better. It'll cure what ails you. And luckily, here we are, right close to the beekeeping capital of the world. It helps. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis, and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey. How's Misty?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I saw you run outside before Shop Local Litchfield for a moment, and it was almost as if you ran out just long enough to look and see if your car had Goodyear tires on it or not.
Sure, that's what I was
What
doing.
did you find out? Were they on there?
I can't remember.
Or do you
now.
have something
I
like...
have short-term memory issues.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to follow the lead of the president, you may be taking your Goodyear tires off of your car. It's kind of laughable.
I saw the press release come in a couple days ago, and I thought, that is awfully precocious of a company to
Right. Yeah.
assume that all their employees are going to align with their thinking on that.
Yeah, it was, and if they want to eliminate it all, then fine, good for them. But you can't pick and choose. You can't say, "Well, we like your ideology, so you can wear yours," but we don't like your ideology, so you can't wear yours. But I did think it was funny yesterday because I've just said for a long time, please, President Trump, stay out of the briefing room. Because this is where things go wrong, is that he goes out on a limb and he's talking about the Goodyear thing, and then it says you realize that the Beast, which is the presidential limousine, you realize the Beast has Goodyear tires on it. Would you consider changing them? And he said, "Oh yeah, I'd consider it." But the difference is it's not the same. You can't send the Beast over to the Big O and say swap those out.
Yeah.
These are specially made bulletproof tires that will run without air in them. It's different than you and I. If we want to send our cars out to have the tires changed, easily enough. But it's just not that simple when you're talking about a fleet of vehicles designed to protect you from a missile launch.
Listen, as a person who has a master's in human resources, I'm just going to say to Goodyear, when the discrimination lawsuits come down the pike, I'm not shocked.
I liked it because... So this happened kind of at a regional level. Some HR person said, all right, let's sensitivity and let's be inclusive and let's not be divided along political lines. Let's be teammates. Let's be But then it draws the attention of the rest of the world because someone tweets out, here's what Goodyear is saying. Well, Goodyear corporate finds out, though, and goes, whoa, hey, hang on. That wasn't us. That was some underling down the pipe there, and it impacted their stock price yesterday.
Sure, it will. And what's interesting is, like, the GM Corporation has a huge press release from a couple months ago where they were giving money to the Black Lives Matter organization. So some companies will go very political, with that organization, not necessarily that movement is two different things. But
Sure.
But I'm like, wow, that is that is very bold of anybody in an organization to say, you cannot do this because we disagree with your political alignment.
I can't disagree with the activism. Be the activist that you want to
Sure.
be. Just be prepared to suffer whatever consequences come along with that,
Yeah.
good and bad. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Mm-hmm. And today is going to be almost as good. We'll see another sunny day with lower humidity today, increasing heat and humidity tomorrow through the weekend with scattered thunderstorms. Mostly sunny, 85 today, increasing clouds and 66 tonight. Scattered thunderstorms, 86 for tomorrow, and then a humid weekend. So just be prepared for some downpours and some scattered thunderstorms and et cetera, et cetera. Did you watch Barry on TV last night?
I did not. No, I was busy.
I have not had to watch any of the Democratic National Convention. Do you know why? I have been able to rely upon CBS fawning all over everybody that spoke, on their morning program. It's just, it's like, you all get a room. 24.
They got a convention center. I don't.
Yes.
I
Well,
think they did.
So I have been, to be clear, I have been watching like Nora O'Donnell. Okay. I've been watching her body language and her speech pattern this week in talking about the DNC. And I've been making mental notes. Like, I want to see how you behave next week. Will you be fawning all over Mike Pence's speech? Probably not. 655 new coronavirus cases confirmed by Governor Beshear yesterday. 40,926 is our total. And as I predicted, I think yesterday or day before, get ready for the governor now to try and fit a certain narrative to his credit or to his demise. He's now going to start identifying the percentage of cases that are under the age of 18 to try and justify or fortify his standing behind his recommendation on schools and not to return in person. So 14% of yesterday's 655 cases, that's 91 of them were kids 18 years old and younger. Our friends, the Butler and Hart County communities each had a loss yesterday due to COVID-19. The hospitalization rate's currently 640 people, which is down slightly, but 155 people in ICU, which is slightly up today over the previous day. The governor did say regarding unemployment benefits that Kentucky is going to opt in on the plan to give $400 per week to the unemployed. Some states are doing it at $300. A handful of states, Kentucky may be the first, but I know a couple of other states are considering doing the full $400. And you might say, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is that the state has to come up with the extra $100. So the $300 is coming from the federal government, which you can apply to the Fed for reimbursement on. And he says Kentucky is going to do that. And he got encouragement from Leader McConnell on that if the opportunity is there, certainly take advantage of it. He did, he being the governor, did sort of preface Kentucky's, he wasn't necessarily promising it because he said it's still a little murky on how this is going to happen. And I think a lot of us are wondering, well, if it happened as a result of executive order, yeah, it is a little murky. Will it get challenged? How quickly can it happen, et cetera? But he said getting the money and the dollars to the families of Kentucky is too important that they can't delay and they can't wait. So he says the Kentucky share will be roughly $8 million per week. So just Kentucky's share of the $100 is $8 million a week, and they're talking about right now for a 3-week period covering, I think it was the end of July for the 3-week forward period, so it's not an inexpensive thing.
Wow.
So,
Wowza.
I guess a lot of people are, they're watching. If those increased or inflated or bloated unemployment payments, if those came to an end the end of July, then I'd say the effects of the disappearance of those are certainly starting to be felt as we get into the latter days of August. Senate Majority Leader McConnell was in the Central Kentucky area yesterday. He was in Hardin County to introduce a $2 million grant for the Transit Authority of Central Kentucky, TAC. You may see those vans running around the region. TAC also got nearly $4.4 million from the CARES Act. According to TAC, the grant funding will help purchase replacement buses to improve the safety and reliability of the region's public transportation system. So, all right. I'm okay with that. He also said yesterday that he was challenging, he laid down a challenge to his Democratic opponent, a socially distanced debate with no notes on statewide television. He calls them the Lincoln Douglas style debate, with a timekeeping moderator that they both parties agree to, and then they'll set it up. They're going to deal with a TV provider that has statewide reach. That's code for KET. I mean, there are a couple of TV companies that can get close to statewide reach.
Yeah.
But there's not anybody other than KET that can actually deliver the entire state. So that's probably where it will be, but I could be wrong. They may do some subsequent debates. Generally, it's the challenger that initiates the debate, initiates the dialogue on debates. But the moment she fumbled with Charles Booker on KET about her involvement in the protests in Louisville, she looked extremely weak and vulnerable, and McConnell's people and he went on the attack saying, we want to be in the arena in a debate style setting with her. And so they're crafting a response beyond a tweet that they sent. But you can't try to unseat the most powerful person in Congress and not have to debate your way to it. There's just no way around it for her. No. Now, the style, they may be looking for stylistic differences. She and they and her new campaign manager may be looking for ways to change it. They may say, well, let's make it more of a town hall. COVID-19 can't. So socially distanced, no notes, no prompters, no anything, just kicking it old school.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time with no notes just because my short-term memory is not that good to be able to grab right numbers. So you're setting me up to fumble even information that I know like the back of my hand. When you're on stage and pressure like that and you're not the incumbent, I'm not a fan of the no notes thing. Just because I can't say, with no notes, she was a train wreck. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Do you think
I don't think that's fair.
Do you think that's a liability for leadership, though? I mean, do you think that...
No,
I don't.
Look how much information you have to know and stay abreast and on top of. And those bills, when those laws come through, they're this thick and you've got 100 and something to get through. And you have to be able, even in school, we take notes. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's not
and
realistic.
they have people working for them to help sift through and
fact check.
Yeah.
And would you feel good about getting on stage with an incumbent like McConnell and not having notes to at least say, to glance down and say, I want to make for sure I've got the numbers right on this budget versus that budget or this statistic or that?
I'm blessed with a wonderful memory, so I would be more inclined to say yes. But to be clear,
I'm not.
Hang on. But to be clear, let me show the audience. Here are my notes
For this morning.
for a performance in the media. So
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
There's just, I think the no notes is his way of saying, because he is in this so deep that he knows what he's talking about, that he can trip her up with some numbers. And then they're going to grab that and they're going to play it over and over and over again. And I just don't think that's fair.
Well, they've got to have some content to spend their money on.
I know they do.
They may have to bury some money in backyards. Both of them have so much of it. I don't know if there are enough places to spend it that are legal. The Attorney General of Kentucky says that state and local officials cannot order closure of religious schools. Right after the governor a couple of weeks ago said our recommendation is not to start in-person classes until the end of September. One of the first things you heard were from the diocese if you multiple dioceses, are they diocese? I don't know how to say plural diocese.
I guess
it wouldn't be dioceses.
I guess it is diocese.
I guess it would be, I don't know. I'm making a new word called diocese. So the diocese said the Catholic schools, private schools, are returning. And a lot of people said, okay, well, let's wait and see what happens. And so they said, you can't mandate. If we're truly private, then you can't mandate what we're going to do. And the Attorney General of Kentucky, Daniel Cameron, agrees. Now, I will tell you that I fully believe that the private schools should have the liberty to do what they want. They're not receiving federal funding. They're not receiving state funding. They are accredited as institutions. I get that. That's not to say they won't close. See, there's a difference between choosing to close. Right. There's just like in-person worship. There's a difference between choosing not to meet in person for worship because it's the logical and wise thing to do. But it doesn't mean that some governmental entity has to tell me no, you cannot.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean private schools won't. It just means that Governor Beshear can't tell them, and even local officials can't tell them.
That's
have to.
I mean, that's what we're based on, is the land of the free to choose, free to live it the way you want to live it.
He cited the First and the 14th Amendments as his argument there, so he threw the opinion out there, and I guess it's up for challenge if someone else wants to challenge it. A legislative committee heard from state budget officials yesterday on the effect of the pandemic on Kentucky revenue for the fiscal year that ended June 30th. Kentucky ended with a $178 million surplus for the end of that year, but things not looking so rosy for our current fiscal year that began on July 1. By the way, just some numbers that were kind of interesting. The federal government, between March and July, the federal government put $15.4 billion into Kentucky's economy. That came from the Paycheck Protection Program, the economic injury disaster loans, and the federal stimulus checks that went to individuals. So between the PPP, injury disaster loans, and the Trump bucks, that was $10.2 billion alone. Then on the between Kentucky and federal programs, they were $3.8 billion in 2 months, in June and July, because they're looking back at the end of last fiscal year, not the current fiscal year. So you take, I guess, half of that. And during the month of July, those unemployment benefits were paid into Kentucky. A task force will examine names on university buildings at Western Kentucky University. The president there has appointed a panel to examine the names of campus buildings and academic units. There have already been discussions the Potter College of Arts and Letters and the Ogden College of Science and Engineering, because the Bowling Green Daily News reports that I'd prefer that mine wasn't on something, because I hope to be.
I'm not worthy to be exalted, and please don't put my name on a building. I don't care how much money I gave you.
I don't look at a building and go, your name shouldn't be on there. I'm just saying, for me personally, given the choice, I would choose for mine not to be on one. Yeah. But you know how your name gets on a building? You write a big fat check. It's the person who writes the big fat check that gets the name on the building. And so if you're going to go vetting all this, if you're going to go, revising history and say, okay, are you going to return the check? You see, if you're going to take the name off the building, then there was a quid pro quo in there. You put my name on a building, I give you a big fat check to help toward whatever endowment. And I'm okay if we want to take the names off, but I just think that the other party has a right to say, well, I'm going to need my money back.
It was transactional.
Because, so...
But where I stand. At the end of the day, you're not going to find a person that you can exalt who is worthy to be exalted.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, owning slaves is a big issue. It needs to be addressed.
Certainly is. And the Reds split last night, by the way, split with Kansas City Royals. By the way, our media brethren, Tom Brenneman, last night learned in the first game he violated that cardinal rule of broadcasting. Always assume the microphone is hot. And he is in some hot water today after using a slur yesterday. And anti-gay slur, as a matter of fact, is what it was. So they'll have to be sorting that out over the next day or so. Got to get to a break. When we come back, today's Where's Quacky, and also Jacob Clark, who is a candidate for the Kentucky State Legislature, is coming up. We'll have a conversation with him straight ahead here on In the Know.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages, incentive pay, benefits at 90 days, and a discount stock program offering after 6 months. Applications for production trainees are available in the front lobby with a convenient drop box. So stop by the office at 435 at Embry Drive and start your path to a career with Leggett & Platt. We need 30 new trainees immediately. So join the team where our motto is, we work hard so you can rest easy. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity, affirmative action, veteran and disability employer.
It's an all-star action-packed show this Saturday night at Joel Ray Sprouse Lincoln Jamboree in Hodgenville. For only $11 per ticket, see the king and queen of country duets, Larry and Sheila Denham, 17-year-old FFA talent champ Alex Miller from Lancaster, Kentucky, Wyatt Wood from Paducah, who sings country and plays the guitar, and old-time gospel at its best with the Friends Quartet, plus special bass guitarist Kayla Brown and steel guitarist Larry Wilson. Kentucky's finest restaurant will be open from 4 until 8 o'clock Saturday and featuring a limited menu of homemade pimento cheese, tuna and chicken salad, BLTs, stuffed tomatoes with chips, baked beans, and slaw for only $8. Plus, the tomatoes will be fresh from Hinton's Orchard and Farm Market. For reservations for the show, call after 11 o'clock Friday, 270-358-3545. That's 358-3545. Or buy your ticket before the show Saturday night at Joel Ray Sprouse Lincoln Jamboree in historic Hodgenville. Wow, what a show!
Got myself a tasty Mickey D's breakfast sandwich for now and another for later. Okay, it's later.
How about a savory sausage McMuffin? Now at McDonald's, you can get 2 for just $2. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price cannot be combined with combo meal.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Amazon is putting out the hiring sign again. It needs to hire 3,500 workers in Dallas, Detroit, Denver, New York, Phoenix, and San Diego. The positions are in corporate and tech sectors, including Alexa, Amazon Fashion, and Amazon Fresh. Employees are currently working from home due to the pandemic until at least January. Uber and Lyft are both considering offering their California drivers franchises to avoid making them employees. Sources tell the New York Times the ride-hailing companies are seriously discussing licensing their brands to maintain an arm's-length relationship with drivers and get around California's new independent contractor law. A San Francisco judge has ordered the companies to make their drivers employees by this week, but Uber has threatened to leave the state entirely. Apple is the world's first $2 trillion company. The tech giant's market cap reached that height in trading this week. Tech Report, James Flippin, NBC.
Today is Radio Day. It is also Lemonade Day today. And it's Bacon Lovers Day today. We'll talk more about those coming up later on in the program. Also, day number, 9 of Where's Quacky is up for grabs. I want to say congratulations to day number 8 of Where's Quacky. Belinda Basham knew that Quacky spent the day at the Caneyville Purple Flash Center yesterday. I think he was squarely nesting on Misty's brick.
Yep.
in the sidewalk of bricks there at Caneyville. So congratulations, Belinda. You get a K105 t-shirt and a duck in the Ducking Hunger Regatta coming up September 7th. Today's Where's Quacky? Tell us Where's Quacky on the K105 Facebook page, and you can win just like Belinda could if you can correctly tell us where Quacky is today. That could be a challenge as well.
I don't know that one.
I see some sunflowers.
I know.
So that might be a giveaway.
I am not familiar with this one.
Make sure and click through and find and buy your ducks as well.
Yeah.
If you don't buy a bunch of ducks between now and tomorrow, I'm going to preach a sermon tomorrow because we got to have a bunch of ducks bought by the end of week tomorrow. I'm just saying. Jacob Clark is a libertarian candidate for the 18th district of the Kentucky State Representatives race, and we say good morning to Mr. Clark. Good morning. Welcome, Jacob.
Good morning. Glad to be here on Bacon Day. That's fantastic because I think bacon goes great on everything. I would even try bacon toothpaste, actually.
Before I even turned your microphone on when I said it's Bacon Lovers Day, I heard you. I got an amen from the congregation
Right.
over there.
Yes, sir.
I heard it, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about, for those that maybe haven't had an opportunity to meet you, who are you? What's your background?
Okay, well, I'm born and raised in Grayson County. A lot of folks listening, we might have gone to church together, worked together. I used to play bluegrass music when I was a teenager, and I would be in the Fiddlin' Festival every year, and had a great time with that. Just had a good traditional upbringing. Ordained minister. I do a jail ministry down here at the detention center when they'll let us in. Of course, COVID has kind of knocked that in the head. Done a lot of work with addicts and folks that have those issues. But, I'm a constitutional conservative, and I'm in the Libertarian Party, and the root word there is liberty, to clarify that for folks. But, for me, it's all about the Constitution, and, America is a special place, okay? It's not like a lot of other places in the world where, other things matter more than freedom and liberty, and this year has really been an eye-opener for what is America, what's it all about, what is the difference between us and other countries. So I'm glad to be running this year. It's been a tough year to be campaigning for sure. I was wanting to do some fair booths and do some parades and things like that. I had a really great plan for a pie-in-the-face booth, and we was going to have to pick people who are well-known in the community, and you guys was going to be on that list. So
We're on lots of lists. They're usually not good. Yeah.
You dodged that pie bullet. But anyway, that's what I'm all about. I've seen a lot of our taxes being hiked, money being given away to huge corporations and bailouts, and these are not always. A lot of folks want to attribute that to Democrats. These are not always Democrats that are doing these things. So. I'm running on a libertarian ticket, and I'm having an event this Saturday, fundraiser event at the Litchfield City Park. They call it Baville Park, and we're going to have a fundraiser event there. There's going to be catering, be a barbecue lunch at 12. Miss Wandina Phelps is going to cater that for me. Great lady. Glad to meet her. But everybody needs to come out and check it out, and they have a new slide. I hope I fit down the new slide. I want to try that out.
What made you decide to seek office, and why this one in particular?
Okay, well, like I said, I've just noticed a decline in fiscal responsibility, mainly. How money is taken from the people, given away to this huge central government, in Frankfurt or even in D.C. if you want to go that far, and then we're kind of begging for crumbs to get back. And the Republican Party of say 40 years ago was a totally different mindset as far as like social programs and things like that. But I want it to be more community based. I feel like a lot of these things have been put in place and kind of deteriorate the family structure, the family unit, and I think that's really what's hurting our country is the breakdown of the family unit in that structure. But
many people don't know the filing deadline for office outside of the two, if you will, the traditional parties, the R's and the D's, is later in the calendar year. At what point in time did you know that this was an office? You say, I am determined that I'm going to seek this 18th district seat. When did you come to that decision?
Yeah, so the deadline to file was supposedly January 10th, and we didn't know if that was going to be it or if there was going to be an extension. So I filed January 7th. But, as far as like this particular office, I'm not going to say that it had to be this particular office, but when I went to looking at what I want to do, I want to represent we the people, not just Republicans, not just Democrats, but, everybody, even people that I would disagree with, they still need representation in Frankfort for their basic rights, and so when I go look at that, the title is state representative,
Right.
And that's what kind of drew me to that, and there's some things I can influence and different things that help people right here in the community that I grew up in.
People that don't swim in the political waters all the time maybe don't fully understand. They understand the reds and the blues, as a statement that, or a division that Tim Russert actually, started with the reds and the blues. And so they know there's a spectrum, if you will, and they kind of know they hear left is Democrat and they hear right is Republican. Where does libertarian on that spectrum for a person that's trying to choose, is this ideology, does it align with me and my belief system? Is it right of R? Is it slightly left of R? Where would you describe it on the spectrum?
Okay, well, this is America. Why do you have to choose? Why do you got to pick a side? This is not a sports game. Okay, we're all winners. We're in America. Libertarians. Okay, we say that you can be as conservative as you want to be. You can be as liberal as you want to be. Just don't try to force those things on someone else. And so that's the founding of America. They came escaping ideas being pushed on them to the point of assault and even death sometimes. So, why would we start instituting that same thing here? I'm not fighting anybody. I want to represent our constitutional republic, our freedom. And, that's why I try to emphasize that I'm a constitutional conservative libertarian. That's what really brings it home for me is what does the Constitution say about it,
We are about 9 months in to an Andy Beshear administration. And if you were scoring our current governor, would you give him a grade letter at this point?
As far as constitutionally sound actions, I would have to give him an F-. And I'm not.
I think that's the lowest part of the grading scale. I used to spend a lot of time in that area on the grading scale, so I'm familiar.
Yeah. So we have 3 branches of government for a reason. There's a separation of powers, and if we can go by what Andy says, and we can say he's not a liar. Okay, if we can do that, we can say that he really is trying to help people. Okay, and I can believe that at least to some extent, and that's fine. But there are still, like I said, America's a special place. There are still constitutional boundaries that are set that he, at least he himself, shouldn't even try to step over. And so that's why we have the separation of powers. And I feel like that when things really started getting crazy, end of session was middle of April. He should have called in the GA for a special session, divided that power back up like America is supposed to be set up. But as far as that goes, I'm sorry, it gets F-. We have 3 branches of government for a reason.
We don't have a whole lot of time, and I know there's a lot of stuff that you want to cover. I heard you mention in passing the idea of school choice. Now, today when you hear school choice this day here on August the 20th, you may hear that as the choice to go back to school in a pandemic or to not go back to school in a pandemic, or the liberty to choose whether it's a charter school or a private school. When you say school choice, what does that mean?
Okay, so right now the taxpayers pay somewhere between $15,000 and $17,000 per student per year. Okay, and so just plain and simple, and most libertarian solutions are plain and simple. Plain and simple. That money should follow that child wherever the parent ends up putting them. So be it homeschool, be it a private school. You know, I've talked to some teachers and retired teachers that are considering teaching 5 to 10 children in their home setting. You know, that money should follow that child. I think that's just common sense. I don't understand any argument against that, honestly.
Okay, I understand. Going back to, you referenced the session ending in the month of April, looking back on what was supposed to be a budget session for 2020. A budget plan is only as good as your revenue models hold up, which you can throw that out the window. But looking back on the session as a whole, if it were your vote for the 18th district to cast, is there anything you would have done differently than was done in 2020?
Well, I definitely would have voted against HB 99, and that was a $35 million bailout to U of L that they don't have to pay back. How can we afford to just give money away? And then the answer is things like HB 475, which would have added taxes, local taxes, would give local taxing power. So they want to tax us more and give it away to bail out corporations, and that's the welfare we really need to concentrate on getting rid of. Some people want to get rid of welfare. Let's get rid of the corporate welfare first, and then see where we're at. But I definitely would have done that different.
We've got any candidate who pursues the opportunity to be here and visit with us gets the opportunity to take 30 seconds and tell voters why the better choice is you.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to, like I said, you can be as conservative as you want or liberal as you want. Don't force others to be. We just want to see America set free, get back to the Constitution. Our basic rights should be upheld no matter what. And I actually would move to initiate impeachment against Beshear. I've made a promise to do that on day one, and this is not a party thing. It's just all about constitutional infringements to set a precedence for any future governors so that they would not want to try to do the same thing. And I also support Savannah Maddox's HB 130, which will put limitations and kind of rein a check and balance on the governor's powers. But
very good. I know you mentioned an event coming up on Saturday. You want to touch the high points on that again? What time is that?
Yeah, sure. So that's Saturday at Beville's Litchfield City Park, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Barbecue lunch at 12, catered by Wandina Phelps. And it's going to be a fundraiser event, and have some items and different things we can give for donations. But be glad to have everybody out and answer any questions you've got.
Very good. Thanks for stopping by. That's Jacob Clark. He's the Libertarian candidate for 18th District, Kentucky State Representative. Got to get to a break. Back with more. You're on In the Know.
Our children give us joy. They give us wonder. They give us the occasional mess. Considering all they do for you, why not do one of the best things you can do for them? Especially when it's this simple. See if your kids qualify for no-cost health insurance. They'll get all the coverage they need at no cost to you. Just think of it as returning the favor for everything they bring into your life. Apply online at kidshealth.ky.gov or call toll-free 1-877-KCHIP-18.
Expert care, high technology, hometown kindness. That's Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Here's Dr. Gregory Koo on integrative healthcare.
Integrative is basically you mix holistic medicine with modern medicine. I was the director of this holistic integrative center, but I did acupuncture, and I did that my entire career alongside of family medicine, and the results are just unbelievable.
To schedule an appointment with Dr. Koo, call 270-879-3711. Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Your home, your health.
The Kentucky Organ Donor Affiliates and Kentucky Circuit Clerks Trust for Life has always cared about educating Kentucky about organ and tissue donation. They care for your family, friends, neighbors, and even strangers. Over 1,000 Kentuckians across the state are waiting for a life-saving donation today. There are a lot of ways you can care by registering today at donateky.org. That's donateky.org.
As we get back on the road and traffic increases, the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety is reminding you that law enforcement will be out this summer during the Blue Lights Across the Bluegrass campaign. The goal is not to write tickets, but to save lives. So do your part. Make smart choices each and every time you get behind the wheel. Obey the speed limit, drive sober, buckle up, and put your phone down. Spare yourself a ticket and possibly a life. Be safe this summer, Kentucky.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Plenty of sunshine is in the forecast for today as we warm into the low to mid 80s for this afternoon. So just a little bit warmer than yesterday. Lower humidity does remain in the forecast, but we can't rule out an isolated shower for areas south of the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways. From the Wave 3 News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
But on the midnight watch, I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I have fallen.
Did you know in the Old West? So, by the way, today's Did You Know is for our pen pal, Richard. All right. In the Old West, more cowboys died crossing swollen rivers than in gunfights.
I can believe that.
You know, in the old Westerns,
Yes.
everybody had a gunfight at high noon. Meet you at high noon.
Yeah, the
no,
duels.
swollen rivers beyond their banks killed way more cowboys than gunfights in the Old West.
I watch Yellowstone. Do you really?
Well, that's the new West, or at least the new Midwest. This is the Old West we're talking about when they didn't know how to control their rivers. They got away. Tiger King Zoo closes permanently after a license suspension. The animal park, formerly co-owned by Joe Exotic, featured on Netflix hit Tiger King, has closed in the wake of a license suspension by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So is this the end?
Let's hope.
Well, I just hope that those animals have gone to better places, or somebody has came in
that should
and
be the
taken
goal,
over, or
I did read yesterday that Carol was holding out for $2.4 million to do a sequel season of that show. I can't tell you. Is she worth $2.4 million?
Not to me.
All right, so.
I don't, and I've only seen like this much of one episode, and I walked away going,
Yeah,
Can't
she's
even.
not exotic enough.
This is why I have
to do
to.
it.
This is why I have to defer to you all, because I have not seen a second of it.
I saw way too much, and that was about 20 minutes. of it.
American Idol 2021 judges and host are revealed, but there's one name missing. It was kind of dramatic the way they did that. At the end of 2020, at the 2020 season, they announced that Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and Ryan Seacrest would be back.
Yeah.
So when they say, with there's one name missing, Bobby Bones, who has been a mentor the last couple of seasons, is not sure that his logistical schedule will allow. I know you all don't know him.
I think he's the small guy.
He's the country Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
Right? In country radio,
Gotcha.
there's a guy named Bobby Bones.
Gotcha.
And he's a good guy. He's very talented.
Yeah, I'm not
but
saying
he's
it's not. I just
country
don't
Ryan
know.
Seacrest. So you have pop, that's Ryan Seacrest. You have
Right,
country, that's
right.
Bobby Bones.
Okay. All right. Hey, Bobby Bones.
Hey, Bobby.
Good to get to know you today.
Bobby!
Hey, Bobby.
Netflix is now testing a shuffle button for indecisive watchers.
I am so indecisive.
You know how you
about
used to be
things.
able to shake your iPod?
Yeah.
And it was shake your playlist up?
Yes.
That basically is what Netflix is going to do. It's the roulette of
Oh, that's fun.
on demand.
Like maracas.
I have the full September Netflix arrival schedule.
Okay.
I'm going to. I do this once a month. I'm going to give it to you, and then you make a copy of it and give it to Misty, so you all know everything that's coming to Netflix in the month of September.
I've been cheating on Netflix for some time.
Because you used up all their content. So now that there's new content, you may find something else on there that you
TV
that you want.
adultery. Dun dun dun.
Amazon Prime.
Was there anything good on Amazon Prime?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Still doing it.
Well, do say.
So I'm
staying in this Amazon affair. I'm not going back
I'm
to
currently
Netflix yet.
season 5 of House. So
Oh yeah, I did love House, but I watched it in real time.
You all know that I'm a Twitter shareholder.
You are one.
One of you especially knows it because one of you bought me my stock in Twitter, and so I've been preparing for the upcoming board meeting.
Okay, good. What you got?
All shareholders have an annual meeting in Twitter, and I've been invited over the years. I've never chosen the opportunity to go, but I feel like this is my year. I'm looking for a place to go. And so I have decided I'm going to stage a coup on the board of directors at Twitter, and my political plank, my political platform is going to be centered around the fact that I think that my mom should run Twitter.
I think your mom should run the world, but we can start with Twitter.
I think we need a new leader at the head of Twitter, and I think that my mother is the person for the job.
Tita Mama, I like it.
But would you still get the same stuff when you prepare for morning shows?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And here's why. I've noted the reasons that my mother should be selected to run Twitter.
Okay.
I wouldn't be allowed to follow your Twitter account until my mom called your mom and said it's okay.
Very good. I like the rule. Nice framework.
I used to couldn't go to a friend's house until my mother and their mother worked it out, so that has to work.
Yeah.
If my mother ran Twitter, you could be assured there would be a lot fewer tweets, because if you can't say something nice about someone, don't say anything at all.
That's right. I like it.
If you use that on Twitter, Twitter would be a much better place, so my mother should run it. You would always get notifications from your Twitter app to wear a jacket.
Yep. And clean underwear. That's good.
You would get good advice from your Twitter app if she were in charge of it. We would have to stop tweeting when the streetlights came on every evening, because you would know that dinner was ready.
That's right.
That would be a Twitter
when
rule.
They unlock the door and let the kids back in in the 80s.
There would be Bible verses everywhere on Twitter.
Yeah, I like it.
There would be no tweeting until your chores are done. You would have to stop tweeting when Guiding Light came on.
I mean, because Bible verses and Guiding Light balance your character.
My Twitter account would be dedicated to apologizing to everyone, just all the time. You go apologize.
Right.
You don't do that.
I can see it.
You can be sure there would be a lot better spelling and grammar if my mother ran Twitter. And if my mother ran Twitter, the corporate motto would be, tweet people the way you'd want to be tweeted.
Oh!
And I think that is a solid marketing slogan.
That may be the best I've heard ever of evers.
Tweet people the way you'd want to be tweeted.
And I want to be tweeted nice, Mr. President.
There's the reason that my mother should run Twitter.
I like it.
Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, Chart Toppers, and more ahead here on In the Know.
She's a bad man with
My family loves to hang out together, but one weekend a few years ago on a ski trip, we took that idea to a whole new level. We were literally hanging out together. If you've ever been skiing, you know the hardest part can be getting on and off the lift that takes you to the top of the slopes. It's especially tough for younger children. Our son Troy was 6 or 7 at the time and took up skiing pretty naturally. But that Saturday, just after the chairs scooped us up, he slipped and slid from his seat. The ski lift operator was not paying attention because the chairs kept moving, and before I knew it, we were 12 feet off the ground and I had Troy by the collar of his jacket as he dangled from the chair. Fortunately, someone came up behind us and said, "I'm here to catch him, let him go." So I dropped him down and he brought him up in the next chair. Fortunately, we were able to laugh about it, and Troy had no injuries. But that incident got me thinking a lot about what we moms and dads face with our children. Parenting can often be peaceful and serene, like a ski lift traveling smoothly up the side of a mountain. Other times, life with our children can get pretty bumpy, and you have to do your best to hang on through the rough patches. Either way, the top of the lift is coming, and we need to prepare our children so they're ready when it's time for them to slide off the lift and head down the mountain of adulthood. To help your children thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages, incentive pay, benefits at 90 days, and a discount stock program offering after 6 months. Applications for production trainees are available in the front lobby with a convenient drop box. So stop by the office at 435 at Embry Drive and start your path to a career with Leggett & Platt. We need 30 new trainees immediately. So join the team where our motto is, we work hard so you can rest easy. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity, affirmative action, veteran and disability employer.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
Got myself a tasty Mickey D's breakfast sandwich for now and another for later. Okay, it's later.
How about a savory sausage McMuffin? Now at McDonald's, you can get 2 for just $2. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price cannot be combined with combo meal.
What's the best? This is MB's Point to Ponder for today. What's the best Wi-Fi network name that you've ever seen?
Streetlights along the highway.
I saw one here locally somewhere that was like FBI surveillance van.
Now that's fun.
Like, oh, there's an FBI surveillance van nearby.
I actually stumbled up on one. You know how when you're sitting somewhere and you're close enough, it will make a recommendation.
Sure, yeah.
And what it did was it revealed to me the heart condition of the person who named it. And the Wi-Fi name was Rookie Pastor.
Interesting.
And I thought, you didn't expect people to actually see that, did you? Shame.
How about Drop It Like It's Hotspot?
I do like that
funny.
one.
Marty McWi-Fi.
Oh, I like that.
Just simply no internet access. I wouldn't take the bait. I'd be, I know they got internet access. I know they do. You're trying to tell me you don't. Rebellious Amish family.
That's great.
That's a good one. Abraham Linksys.
Like it.
Vladimir Komputin.
Komputin lately.
I can't up so much for that one.
The Promised Land. LAN.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it.
Pretty fly for a Wi-Fi.
I like that one a
And
lot.
it hurts when IP. Internet protocol. It hurts when IP. Those are good. I got to tell you, there's something I like about the sarcasm of rebellious Amish family.
I like it a lot.
Because they're not going to see it.
I love
It's
when
a
people
complete
do
and
this.
total insider joke. So
Fantastic.
that's just me.
Yeah.
Pretty fly for a Wi-Fi. Today's highlight on TV tonight. Sleepy Joe gets the nomination. Well, Sleepy Joe accepts the nomination tonight.
Somebody wake him up. Got a big night.
Man, last night was a who's who. Barry was on there.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Hillary was willing to appear on the same night as Barry, but they did. Yeah, that's on all the major networks. Extended coverage on PBS. If you want to watch the whole thing, just flip on over to PBS. On Big Brother tonight, following a live vote, a House guest is evicted. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I fell asleep right before the nominees came up, so please don't tell me who the nominees are. I fell asleep.
Lucky for you, I don't know. So
I have no idea.
I couldn't spoil it. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Economic Opportunity Act, a nearly $1 billion anti-poverty measure. I told you earlier today is Radio Day. It's because in 1920, American radio station 8MK in Detroit, later WWJ, began daily broadcasting. In 2017, I don't have anything planned today. No big celebrations or anything. And by the way, I'm perfectly fine with that. In 2017, actor, comic, and longtime telethon host Jerry Lewis died of heart disease in Las Vegas at the age of 91. Hey, ladies. Don King is 89 today. Greg Nettles is 76. Connie Chung is 74. Robert Plant is 72. Know how he's going to celebrate his birthday? I'm in the mood for a melody. I'm in the mood for a melody. I'm in the mood.
I forgot about that one.
Al Roker is 66 today. Billy Gardell is 54. Billy Gardell stars on Bob Hart's Abishola, but also was Mike on Mike and Molly.
Love him. Okay.
Opposite
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy. Demi Lovato is 28 today. 2 to the 8. Benjamin Henry Harrison, gone but not forgotten, born this date in 1833. Jim Reeves, born this date in 1923. Favorite Jim Reeves song? Bimbo, Bimbo. Remember that one?
I don't know that I have a favorite Jim Reeves song.
They call it's the only one I could think of, so therefore it's my favorite. 1950.
The melody.
Bing and Gary Crosby.
They call it Samsung.
Samsung. Not Samsung, not the television. Samsung. The happy tune.
Okay.
Sam Gormley just got new theme music.
Gets under your skin.
He's
No
gonna
more
love
Psycho
that.
Sam. No more Psycho Sam from Jeff Beck. We're doing the Crosby Brothers.
Let you meet out on the street.
Only to fit the sports, we're going to let Sidney Crosby, the hockey star, sing Bing and Gary Crosby's Sam song, so it checks all the boxes.
That sounds like an algebraic equation, and I was out. I jumped out.
Flexing my
there.
muscle.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, you lose it. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to work
Yeah.
on my algebra. 1959, The Drifters, number 1. But There Goes My Baby.
There goes my baby, moving on.
Hey, know what would be cool?
What?
Let's get in a trash can and record a song.
Yes.
Wonder where.
This is when we were still using Campbell's soup cans for microphones and telephones.
The Drifters fell down in a well.
But they're still performing.
Lassie saved the Drifters. The Drifters fell in a well. They're singing. Let's go to 1968. The Certified Public Accountant's theme song.
Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way.
Steppenwolf and Born to Be Wild.
Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
Not my favorite Steppenwolf song.
You like Magic Carpet Ride better?
Oh, yeah.
Explode into space.
I like smoking lightning. CPAs everywhere just stood up and started like they were riding their hog. They had ape hangers on it. And
Yep.
like Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda. And no. 1977 was the year.
Girl, I'm leaving you.
The Commodores. Ow. Outrageous.
Seems to me.
Easy like Sunday morning.
I like this.
Me too.
You see,
You can't beat the Commodores. I mean, Lionel Richie can maybe beat the Commodores, but it's all the same to me. Bring it, Lionel. Steve Winwood, Higher Love in 86. Seal, Kiss from a Rose in 95. Ashley Simpson, Pieces of Me, 16 years ago today. And Robin Thicke and T.I. with Blurred Lines. Pharrell was in on that 7 years ago today as well. Last Sunday morning. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Very often, a change of self is needed more than a change of scene. Very often, a change of self is needed more than a change of scene. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA. 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105, your new